Kenneth, let me come to you. You think it's not necessary as well?
Well, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to
Good morning, Philip.
and good morning to our viewers, particularly my kinsmen in Cape Coast.
And 10 for you cheer one now.
Nobody's happy with strike of any nature. People suffer because people rendering an essential service have withdrawn their services, and there will be people who feel it. In this case, it's the poor children who are suffering from the issue. The issues in contention, that is the employment or the appointment of the new Director General. I think it's all stemmed from the removal of the previous one and then the appointment of the new one, which hasn't gone down with the teacher unions. But that particular problem, I don't think it's the only problem that teacher unions have faced recently. Teacher unions, from time immemorial, have had various problems. Other unions have had various problems. But many problems have been resolved. But in this particular one, it's coming at a time that people are most unhappy. Things in the country are not the best. The situation, yes, maybe the situation in Ghana could have been better than it is, but generally, it's not the best for everybody. So things are generally bad. So if in a situation where things are bad, some leaders choose to go on strike, then it's difficult. It's very difficult.
Right.
I mean, I don't see how this matter could not be resolved. The appointing authority has made a decision, has made a choice, appointed a particular individual who, from all that we are being made to understand, is quite capable of doing the job. Others are saying that they feel he doesn't have enough experience. I've heard others explain that he does have that kind of experience that they are talking about. So then you begin to ask yourself, what is the issue? So then you start asking yourself that, is there something else beyond what is being said that is behind the strike? Then people begin to suspect, especially when some of the, I don't want to go there. That's why the people behind the strike are always behind the same strike from time immemorial. They are always on strike. They go in one capacity or the other, come back, the same people heading the same strike. Never peace of mind in that era. You know, I don't want to go personal, but it's not.
Looks like it's becoming too much.
It's becoming too much. And I remember many years ago, during the tenure of President Kufuor, when the teacher unions were going on some strikes, and it got to a time when the general populace said, look, enough is enough. Some of those certain leaders at that time made certain utterances. Some of those people are still behind these strikes, some of these strikes. So you see, it begins to even taint the strike. Maybe they may have a genuine case. They may have some genuine concerns. But address your genuine concerns in a way that gives everybody the satisfaction that, oh yes, you do have a genuine concern. Right. Let people sympathize with your cause and begin to put pressure on the powers that be to, address your situation. But do not make it appear as though you want to take the rest of the country or the rest of everybody else for ransom. Because that is the impression that is being created.
Right, Kenneth, let me
Yeah,
come
I
to
think,
you.
let me,
Right.
I think Philip stated that the motive behind all this, or leaders who normally manage these institutions, are fan of going on strike. I quite remember in 2015. By then, the teachers union were asking for cooler increment, or no condition of service with their fuel. And by then, the candidate Akufado stated categorically that we shouldn't tour with the teaching front because they are essential service to the state. So sometimes when you say because of strike, somebody, their own motive is always let's go on strike, they should make the government unpopular in terms of the education front. There are some times that I don't want to believe it. But look, this strike is unnecessary. I always support teacher front if the thing is genuine. But with this strike, my sister, how will you tell your daughter that the heads of the education sectors were on strike because appointment of a director general? How? No, tell me. Assuming you had a director general at TV3, TV Africa, sorry, and it happens that the person had no knowledge in terms of he did not attend even GID. But when you just catalog the achievement of that person, you can just get it clear that the person can perform extra. Why can't you give those people to them?
They have tried all these people who don't have the idea and knowledge about it. Now, don't you think going on strike is the only way their issues get resolved? It looks as if when they go on strike, that's the only time they are ahead.
Which I don't think should be, because once the only time that you can get strike being meaningful, if all avenues have been exhausted and there's no tangible reasoning coming out from that meeting, there you can say, oh, strike is inevitable. But look, I don't think they've had enough meeting with the minister. They started this, they raised concern about the Dr. Nkansa, that look, they don't want Dr. Nkansa, but they prefer somebody with great education background, teaching, somebody within the teaching field to head. Look, another angle is that, look, the former director was asked because of one thing or the other. My sister, we should not be allowing this to be happening in this great country of ours called Ghana, because somebody don't want the appointment of them. Then it implies, then the first person that we should fight against will be Hawa Kumsin, who had no knowledge within her field. But because we thought, hey, she had technocrats beneath him, he would just take decisions and we can just move on. That's the more reason why some people decided that, look, let's give Hawa Kumsin that opportunity. Bah! Even Hawa Kumsin were able to say Hawa Kumsin should just go and head that particular ministry, who had no knowledge.
And is she performing?
I've not assessed her yet.
Right.
I've not yet assessed her.
Safohene, do you think you wanted to say something?
Well, you can ask your.
Right. So, do you think the appointment was done the right way?
Well, just to touch on what my brother said, the specific case of Hawa Kumsin. In the course of her vetting, there were one or two questions that she faulted a little. It did not suggest that she didn't know anything about that sector. She is very well versed in that sector. Very, very well versed. And the way she has performed has accredited her so well. You know, so I think that's one. We'll put that one
at where the special initiative sector.
Yes. Well, that is.
That will be another day for discussion.
That is. I know a lot about what is going on in there, so I can say quite confidently that she's done very well. Sometimes these positions are positions of leadership. You need to have somebody with the vision, the leadership, be able to work with people of various talents and capabilities to achieve a result. Anyway, so that is just a point. So now back to your original question again.
I asked if you think the appointment was done the right way.
Yes. Now, in the discussion of the reasons why some of the unions are against the appointment, they're saying that there should have been some consultation with the GES Council first before the appointment was made, and that did not happen. How that goes in or out of the matter, I do not know for certain. So I cannot speak to that. But I've also heard that, yes, although that may not have happened, there were situations where they have found ways of addressing the issue and achieving the same result, which I don't see why they can't do in this situation. So it still comes down to the case where, yes, we may be arguing about this bottle. I sit here with you, this bottle is here, and we are arguing over the bottle. But some observers could probably see through that the argument is not about the bottle at all. There may be something else. And sometimes in negotiations, because I saw one interview somewhere when somebody made a comment, and somebody else who was going to be part of the discussion said, because of your comment, this, you see, some of these things affect some of these discussions. So it's possible that, I don't want to say, I mean, some people may be influenced by certain other considerations. All we will plead is that the parties, no, we don't want to put blame on anybody. The parties should please resolve this matter in the interest of the children. Things are tough in this country already, you know. So let us try and resolve this and then move this country forward.
Right. Kenneth, do you have anything to say on that?
I don't have anything more
Right.
to say. But it sounds very strange whilst negotiation or whilst the teacher union and the ministry are trying to find an amicable solution to this. All of a sudden, Labour Commission just jumped in. How come? And I realized we are not being sincere to ourselves. Because look, if the teacher union decided that, look, we are going to have a meeting with the minister, let's solve this issue amicably. Why the Labour Commission again? Look, I'm saddened, seriously, because our children's future is more and more important than any other thing. Let's ignore this issue about the Director General issue and let them go and teach. We have problem. Maybe coming here is very difficult. As my senior brother stated, the economy is very, very bad. So we shouldn't allow this to happen, please.
Right. Now,